Hey folks, how you going? We're doing a little bit of fishing this morning, or a bit of culling, and as you can see I've just caught a fish out of the tank and I've put it into the ice brine here now just to chill it down, and I'm going to show you how to not only dispense your fish now, how we are at the moment, but also how to fillet your fish. Some people like to eat them whole, but I like to eat them filleted, so I'm going to show you today how to fillet your fish. So we've pulled a couple of fish out already, and I've put them on ice earlier, just beforehand, just so we can have a look at these fish here. So this is a silver perch. As you can see, it's a nice size fish. If we were to weigh that one, it would be about 680 grams, 750 grams, thereabouts, that one. So we could grow them bigger to about a kilo, but this is a nice size. I like this is a nice size for one person. So a couple of these fish, and you've got a nice meal for the day. When you've got 100 fish in a tank, and you're eating once a week, that gives you 50 meals a year just on this size fish, as well as all the plants, as you could see behind us before. This is a nice silver perch. They're nice in condition, as you can see, and only takes a few minutes to chill those down, and don't have to knock them on the head or do ikijima. And of course ikijima is where they put a spike through the hypothalamus or through the brain. Every fish is a different spot where the hypothalamus is, so it's roughly around about here on silver perch. But if you miss it, it could be a bloody mess, and it doesn't look good if you've got kids and things like that you're showing to. So I'd rather put them in an ice brine. We like to do it humanely as possible, much like what we have in the aquaculture industry, where we have to kill the fish as humanely as possible. Alright, so we'll give it a couple of minutes just to chill down, and then we'll come back to that and I'll show you how to fillet that out.
Our workshop presents you with the latest techniques in aquaponics. You learn about fish and veg production, disease, solar power, aquaponics systems and more. Grow fresh, healthy, nutritious food for you and your family, or even the market. Join our workshop today. Bookings are essential.
Alright, so we're back again, and now we're going to fillet the fish, but before we fillet the fish we want to make sure that we've got a really good fillet knife like this one here. This one's a nice bendable blade, so it means that we can get around the spine quite easily. We also want a knife sharpener. That's critical, because the sharper the knife, the better the job. So I like this one here because we just have to do a couple of like this. Run it through each one just 3 times, and that'll be nice and sharp. And we can just give it a bit of a clean. And if we wanted to get one of these tomatoes here and see how sharp it actually is, without much pressure at all, it should just cut in there nicely. Like that. Okay, so there's a nice tomato. Alright, so when we start with a fillet, we want to go down the lateral line, just under the dorsal. We want to go down to the tail. So we're going to cut just behind the fin there. Now remember that we've just cut this fish and it's fresh, so there's going to be some blood. It's not going to be like a fish that's been dead for a while. And using just the point of the blade, we're going to run that along the backbone there, just under the dorsal. Once we've got that, we can lift that up a little bit. And we're going to run that along the backbone. I'd like you to get in a bit closer so you could see better, but unfortunately you're not here, so you'll have to make do with sitting on your lounge chair at home and just watching as we do this. So you can see it slowly parting the fish. Now around here, around the rib cage, the ribs and the flesh are very close together. So I'll actually show that with this one here, you'll be able to see it better there. Actually going to go down below the ribs there, under the cage, and then back along the backbone. Okay, and there's our fillet like that. So we get a nice fillet, around about 150, 200 grams thereabouts at the most. And then we'll do the other side. Now this one was a female, as you can see the row here. You can see this row coming through here, so she was ripe, not in full maturation, but it was a girl anyway and ripe. So then we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. Now this time we start at the tail end. We just cut along the tail. Now we cut along the backbone, again using just the blade. Along the back there, up to the joint of the head. Back round to the dorsal. Now we run reverse. Remember with a sharp knife, always to be careful, but also that with a sharp knife you can get a nice cut as well. Now the good thing about fish like perch and that they have a small scales, but are easy fish to fillet. The good thing about it is that you don't have to take the guts out. You can actually fillet this fish with the guts in, unless of course you want to make soups and things like that. But if you're not keen on that, then quite simply just take the fillet off. Done. So the guts and all are still in there. And if we wanted to take a fillet as well, just run that under the skin. And because we've got that skin and the scales together, we're getting it all in one piece. There we have it. We've got one fillet. Then we've got the skin and scales still there. Unless you like eating the skin and scales, sometimes I like to barbecue it like that. Again. And it looks like the neighbour's got his car out. I like fish in plants, he likes cars and noise. As you can see here on these fillets that we've just done, you can see these nice little white lines in here in the flesh. They're actual fat or omega oils, hoofers and poofers, highly unsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids. So they're all the good oils for you. So not too fatty. Now, I should have showed you the livers as well, but I could see in the fish when I filleted that they weren't fatty. So these are really nice fillets. They'll cook up really well and won't need much oil at all in order to get a nice flavour out of them. Once you take the skin off, if you had a look in the skin, this is where the dorsal fin would have been, the spines. There's a fat layer that runs along here, and this is usually where those muddy flavours are in. So what people do is that they're eating their fish, and they're cutting their fish or taking the spoon or fork or whatever they're using, they're cutting this way, and they're getting that bit of fat that runs along the back here, and that's what gives them that flavour, that muddy flavour. And they think that the fish is muddy, but it's actually not. It's just that's where the fats are. And the rest of the fish is really nice. There's just that one little tiny bit. So if you avoid eating those little tiny back straps of most freshwater fish, you won't get that flavour where you think it's muddy. It's not. It's actually called geosmin. Geosmin flavours from what's in the water, bacteria, algae, etc. Alright, here we go. Alright, so here's our fillet again. Here's our little back strap in there that runs down there. So we're going to cut a little notch in there. Here we go. Remember I said you can pull one way. Alright, so we've done our fish harvest, we've made some fillets, but now we can need a salad, so let's go and harvest some veg. So come over here. So we just cut some salad. So I'm going to cut some here. Look at that. Look at how fresh that is, hey? Whenever we're cutting basil or any type of plant that bushes like that, we want to cut it right there, just there, so that these two new shoots on the plant could keep growing. So whenever we harvest just, so in this case I've harvested just below the other one, and that allows two branches to come off, and now we get twice as much. Wow, the aroma of that is fantastic. Anyway, that's for dinner tonight. We won't have a capsicum in our salad, but we will get a spring onion. Let's grab a spring onion. So when we get our spring onions, all we do is we pull that off. Look at that, nice and white. This one as well here, pull that off. Nice as white. So there's some bok choy here as well. I won't harvest the bok choy because we'll use that in a stir fry, but I want to get some tomatoes. I just pop these over here so I don't forget them. Look at these beautiful tomatoes, look at that. Look at that, eh? Nice ripe tomatoes. Oh, they even smell like tomatoes. I love that. Alright, we'll put those there. What else do we need? We'll use some olives, but I've got those in the garden on the tree. I'm not growing those in here, so I'll use some olives as well. And perhaps we'll just harvest a lettuce. There we go. This one's a butter lettuce. So that'll be nice for a salad tonight. Let's pick those leaves off. So I've got a butter lettuce. We're going to grab a cucumber as well. I love cucumber in salad. Alright, there we go. Nice fresh cucumber. We've got a few more there. We've got a few of those. We've got a few more growing down there. Chilies. Do we want some chilies? Maybe not. The wife doesn't like chilies. I like chilies, but the wife doesn't. Hey, so there we have it. There's a basket of goodies. We've got our tomatoes, we've got our basil, a cucumber, spring onions, we've got a lettuce there, nice butter lettuce. We've got enough to make a salad, and we've also got fish that we harvested before and filleted, and that's out of our aquaponics system. And we eat like this regularly, so you can do that too. You can also eat regularly fresh food straight at your home, grown by you, just like your grandpa used to grow. And you can learn all about that from our coursework, either from our website or ring us direct and have a chat with us, and we'll share how you can do this as well for yourself. So we'll leave it at that. Let's go inside and we're going to make a salad up. Well, here we are again. We're going to prepare the fish and put those in the oven before we make a salad. So I've got a few little ingredients here. Of course, the fish that we just had before. So I just want to have a look how much they weigh. So we have 4 fish. And we've got just on a kilo of fillets there, which is great. So that's not bad. 4 fish, 250 grams a kilo. So if we were getting a 35 to 40% recovery from those fish, then we're looking roughly about 2.5 kilos, 3 kilos of fish all up. So nice recovery, plenty of meat. If we cook them whole, we get a lot more meat out, of course, off the bone, etc. But in this case, I like to fillet them because I want to do those in alfoil or crumb them or whatever. So anyway, we're going to prepare those fish, but first we're going to cut some more veg up. So I was going to use chives, but I've got those spring onions from before anyway, so I'm no master chef, so I'm just going to speed this bit up. Alright, so we're just going to do another one, a bit of spring onion there,
some garlic, some of that sweet capsicum we got from outside, bit of cracked pepper, touch of salt, bit of oregano, bit of olive oil for that, just a bit, as I said before, just for that flavour. And there's another one. We'll pop these in the oven shortly. There's another one. We'll do another 2. Won't take that long. If you want some really good recipes, and if you go and purchase our coursework, on there are about 60, I think, 50 or 60 recipes from some of the top chefs from around the world cooking barramundi for us. And I think you'd really enjoy some of those recipes. There's even tacos on there, all sorts of stuff. So something worth looking into. If you haven't invested in that already, it's worth having a look at that just for the recipes alone. Alright, nearly there. Bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Alright, now we've already got the oven on, so we're going to put these in the fridge first so it doesn't go off. Open our oven, here we go, put those in there. We're going to see you probably about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to clean up, let these cook, and then I'll plate them up. We've just gone out and we've harvested some fish, we've harvested some vegetables for salad tonight. Now I'm going to prepare that for you and show you how you can make a beautiful fresh salad pretty quickly. So I'm just going to get these tomatoes that we cut before and just cut them nice and thin. This is just for our base. I'm just going to have a Greek salad in this case. We'll just spread those out on the plate. Just like that, the other one. Then our fish will go on top of that after. Put that through there. Nice fresh tomato. I like a bit of salt, so I'm just going to chuck a bit of that on there. Grab that cucumber. Just cut the same here. We'll just cut some slices of cucumber. Don't have to have many because I like cucumber, but not too much. So probably that many. Just pop those out on the plate. Just a simple salad. Doesn't have to be flash. Doesn't have to be like you're in the restaurant. Just has to be fresh, doesn't it? All right. Some of our basil. That basil that we got before, just break that up. We don't need to cut it really, we just need to just sprinkle that on top, just break it up loosely. I've also got an olive tree, which is not in the aquaponics, but that olive tree produces for me every year, so I'm going to chuck some olives on there as well. Of course, the olive oil is in there, so just chuck a couple of olives on, drizzle that olive oil on there at the same time. I don't know if you like olives, but I love them. Same on the other plate there. Just drizzle that on. And seeing we're sort of having Greek, we might as well get some feta cheese out as well, eh? Don't need a lot, just enough just to give it a bit of a flavour. Just cut that up, throw a few bits and pieces on there. Looks good, doesn't it? Nice and fresh. And a bit of oregano, which we got out the aquaponics before. Last spring we dried that out. Fresh, well, it's not fresh oregano, it's dried oregano, but it's good enough. Now just to top it off, we'll put a little bit of spring onion on. Not too much, just a little bit, just for a bit of flavour. I've also got chives out there, so I've got onion chives and garlic chives as well, which you can use as well, but spring onion is just as good. It's got a little bit more refreshing, I think it's got more zing in it. As you bite into it, rather than just a hollow tube, it's a little bit more like an onion, isn't it? Just chuck that in there. Not a lot, just a little bit, just a bit of a flavour there. Just to flavour it up. And a couple of pieces of lettuce, just to give a bit more green in there. This is butter lettuce, so it's almost a head lettuce and it's nice and crisp. There we go. So there's a couple of salads made up, ready to go. That didn't take long at all. Straight from the garden, straight onto the plate. I'd say that we were done now. Just put that over here. Ooh, looks warm. Sounds like it's cooking. Turn that off. Let's check out these bad boys, eh? There we go. Nice moist white fillets cooked up. There we go, so there's dinner for two. I think you could do it as well. Give us a ring.